Today I'd like to go over some of my misconceptions about how push notifications work in GrapheneOS from earlier videos. So one of the things I said is that due to the lack of Google Play services and framework wanting as a privileged user, you don't get push notifications. That was wrong, my bad. So certain applications rely on Google Play services and framework for push notifications. They use Google Service for it. If you have that turned off, you either won't get your notifications at all, or you'll get them 30 minutes later, which is pretty incompatible with how people utilize a modern smartphone. So some apps like Signal have their own system for push notifications that in my experience, it sucked. So if you install Signal after installing GrapheneOS, and you don't have Google Play services installed, because to be clear, this phone does not come with that by default, you will end up with, you will either not get notifications unless you click on Signal, or you'll get them like 30 minutes later. It was horrible. So imagine going on a date with somebody and then going, girl, I do care about you. I wasn't ignoring you. I just use a de-Googled Android operating system on my phone. Good luck explaining that to a young lady that you have a crush on, or vice versa. That's a topic for another fucking video. But needless to say, so here's the thing. When you install Sandbox Google Play services and framework, it doesn't run as a privileged user, so it's not able to spy on you the same way that standard Google Play services and stock Android can. However, if you just install it and then you install your apps, your push notifications are going to suck. Here's what you have to do. You go to Google Play services and framework, and you give rid of that battery optimization bullshit. And then once you do that, so you're just going to long press it, app info, hit the little I or whatever, you get rid of that, and then you have your push notifications back, just like that. So that's what I did, and I have my push notifications back. So I'm no longer getting in trouble with the women that I go out with for ignoring them for hours on end. Because I would open Slack, I would open Signal, and like I would see these messages that I got 8 hours ago that I wasn't notified of, and I was incorrectly blaming GrapheneOS. Now to be clear, okay, here's what I'll say. What I will say is I do think that on GrapheneOS's site, in the FAQ, they should have some sort of section. I'm a moron and I want my push notifications. What do I do? And then the answer will be, if you are okay with the compromise of having Google Play services installed in sandbox mode, you need to enable battery, whatever, for it. Make that more front and center so that for morons like me, for people who are dumb fucks like me, it's easier and more out there. So I got that done, because I remember saying before, I don't know how I'm going to be able to use Graphene as a primary operating system. This is killing me, because I need my push notifications. But it is actually completely doable. So I'm going to be using this going forward. The next order of discussion today is for the people who are saying this is an alpha, this is a beta, this is not really well supported, and I couldn't use something like this. So they use something for, I'll link it in the description later. You can't add descriptions on YouTube videos because the YouTube app sucks. You can't blame, they're a small startup. They don't have the resources that other companies do. You can't blame them for that. So there's this thing with memory allocation and old programming. I'm not even going to remotely pretend I can explain this. Something with memory allocation that can make applications more or less secure. GrapheneOS actually has apps run in this. They have this feature called hardened Alex, something like that. Again, I'll link to it in the description later on when I get home. And I'll also include a paper that tries to explain this whole concept to people who are idiots like me that can't program. Now, there are some apps that misbehave, right? There are some apps that misbehave. And ironically, all the apps that misbehave with the security feature are actually banking apps, which is kind of scary. They shouldn't be misbehaving. They should be able to behave within this environment. But if they do, there's an option that you can enable so that even on GrapheneOS, the rest of the OS will run securely, but this will run with the same security or similar security to what you would get with stock Android or something like that. Whatever, no big deal. So that you can use an application just to be able to use one or two applications in the normal mode. And that mode broke. So I went to the GrapheneOS matrix version. And I said, okay, I'm trying to, here's what happened in the old version. Here's what's happening with the new version. I tried to open an app and this happened. The developer shows up within 5 minutes and says, oh, let me try that. Okay, I confirm it's bad. Oh, 5 minutes later he comes back and he goes, okay, this is why it's happening. 1 hour later, again, keep in mind here, we're talking about 3 to 4 a.m. The 3 or 4 a.m. Central Time. He comes up with a fix, and it's already available for download on my phone. I reported a bug at 2 in the morning. This dude fixed it and had a release rolling by 4 a.m. That's dedication, man. That's a level of dedication that even I don't have. That's crazy. So, shout out to GrapheneOS and the developers and the team that they have going there. This is not my phone operating system of choice. I got my Calyx phone in my car, but I just use that as a spare. So the Calyx phone is sitting as a spare in case I'm traveling and something happens to this phone, so that I can continue going about my business. It's fully encrypted, has all my shit installed on it, but it's fully encrypted in vanilla. I just have a little pin so I can pop out the SIM card, pop it in there if anything happens. But I'm using the Graphene one as my daily driver at the moment. No, you can't. That phone shot. No, you can't. But yeah, this is very impressive. I'm very impressed with GrapheneOS. I know, Sivlap. Can you imagine if Paul Daniels fixed bugs on that schedule? I'm incredibly impressed with GrapheneOS. I like this OS. I like this a lot. I like this OS enough to give up a headphone jack and a micro SD card slot. Like, that's sacrifice for me. I know what most of you are saying. I don't want to use a fucking Pixel. And trust me, I don't blame you. Listen, I'm not exactly happy about the hardware choice either. I'm not happy about it either. But I am happy with Graphene. There's no update on PinePhone. I have no updates. I am not a piece of software. I don't update. There's no apt-get update on me. I tried a PinePhone 2 years ago. It made me want to jump off the bridge. I never tried it again. Lineage would be nice if I could actually install it on my S10e. But I can't because it's an Exynos. It's not a... It's an Exynos, it's not a Snapdragon. JP, we're working on maps next. We got to get OpenStreetMap and organic maps to be better. So I want to work on helping them set up a non-profit structure to make it easier to get donations from the Play Store. But I also want to work with them on getting them some money from us. Sorry, Carrie, I left your carrier thing in my bag in the car. I'm gonna refill my iced tea. I got trouble doing this, but do you know if it's possible to the same app on both the main and secondary profile? I've never used the profile feature. Wrong person. I'm the wrong person to ask. I never tried that. You can't spell my name right. Get out of my chat. Both of them. Every vowel. Seems to work like normal Android, Emily Ram. How's it going, Emily? Very good, excellent job. Listen, I don't understand how it works either, no blue sky. But you're welcome to read about it. They have a whole entry on their site about it, on GrapheneOS site, in the FAQ. I got a lot of shit from my Fairphone video. That's blowing up on Reddit. I feel like I kicked a beehive. When you were a kid, did you ever see a beehive and squirt it with a water gun and then see all the bees come out towards you to sting you? I stand by my video, man. People are actually arguing that getting rid of the headphone jack makes the phone more sustainable. Fuck you, bro. Like, I mean, they just said, listen, man, we need to save money. Or, yo, the OEM didn't give us the option of this. We're a small company. We don't have the bargaining power. Sorry. I mean, anything else. But saying that it's more sustainable, oh, you're just digging. That's like Apple saying that, you know, oh, yeah, our repair program is for the popular mechanics crowd. Okay. Just give us a little bit of honesty. That's all I ask. Just some honesty. Yeah, when you go to Kava, get the harissa avocado with extra feta cheese. Also, instead of the bullshit red dressing they give you, get the garlic dressing. The garlic dressing goes way better with the dish. There you go. That's your restaurant review right there. Exactly, Denali. It's the point. Let's be honest. We get it. We're a new company. It's going to be hard. Samsung just released some phone, some X Cover 6, headphone jack, micro SD card slot, removable battery. Check it out. Samsung X Cover 6. Very true, excellent chat, very true. And to be clear, I have a set of Bluetooth headphones here, right? I'm not shaming you if you use wireless headphones. I'm not shaming you. I'm just being honest. It's more green to use a set of wired headphones than wireless. I'm not trying to shame you for being more or less green. I'm just trying to have you stick to your freaking branding. Don't bullshit me. Sorry, it's a mess, Emily. You really should do better, said Black. If you can, there's a choice. Hello to the person in Bulgaria. What is your name? A-N-M-N-T-O-P. Amenhotep? That sounds like some shit from The Mummy. I can't read your name. A backwards N, M backwards N, T, B with a thingamajig, weird P. I'm just gonna call you Amenhotep. It sounds like something from the movie The Mummy. As long as his name is in that weird font, I'm calling him Amenhotep. This is really good. I would still suggest if you get the harissa avocado at kava, get the garlic dressing instead of the red dressing. It's the best thing that you can get, Joey Marsh, in the dystopian world that we're moving to with the no micro SD card bullshit. Oh, the other thing, even if you can get an SD card, can somebody smarter than me in Android file systems tell me this is the case? With an S10e, you had the option to encrypt your micro SD card. I don't think the new Androids even let you do that. I don't think they actually let you do that. let's say I get that Samsung X cover, whatever the fuck, with the micro SD card slot. Can I encrypt the micro SD card the same way I could with the S10e? Because if I can, that's not gonna work. Like if I lose my phone, I want that shit to be unrecoverable. Being an employee is weird, Emily. Things work at a different pace than what I'm used to. I'm not used to not being able to do things at my own pace. I want to, whether I'm doing something good or I'm doing something bad, I want to be able to drive the truck into the wall at my speed. Internet speed doesn't and has in the same network. Yeah, but it gets the point across, Joey. My point with that was to demonstrate that you have at least 4 megabytes a second. Like, my point with that was to demonstrate that this shit actually works. So you have a minimum of 40 megabit per second. Minimum. I wasn't trying to go full autistic with it. Like, it was a short throwaway video. Make a point. I didn't feel like researching like the exact perfect tool to use for that. That was just to shut up people in the comments that are going to say, but Lewis, you didn't show the speed. What if your network is only working at 1 or 2 megabit per second? It's like, no, it's not. I have good reception. The point with that was to show I have good service. And essentially 40 to 80 megabit per second is more than what 99% of the general public is going to get with their smartphone when they're outside or in an office building anyway. Faster or slower? I don't understand the question. What are you eating at? I'm eating at Kava Westlake. This is the fanciest kava in all of town. This kava does not have a password in the bathroom. That's how you know it's a good kava. All the other kavas have passwords in the bathroom. This is in the fancy part of town. Also $18 for a damn meal. Can you believe this shit? In 2005, when I started working at Model Sporting Goods, lunch at Subway, like remember the $5 footlongs? You could be full on them. $5 footlong. You get a cup, it's like $1 extra. See, like I used to spend $6 for lunch. Like lunch was $6. And that was in New York. Now, lunch is fucking $18. I mean, look, the cup by itself, just the cup is $2.75. That's insane. The cup used to be $1. World's lost its mind. Again, minimum wage back there was $6. Now it's $15. So it's like minimum wage essentially went up with everything else. Lots of piss on the audio. I can't help you there, man. I'm recording from a fucking cell phone. This is a cell phone. This is a Pixel 6 Pro. And you may wonder, Lewis, you said you don't want a phone that does not have a headphone jack or a micro SD card slot. Why would you buy a phone that does not have a headphone jack or a micro SD card slot? I did not buy this phone. My boss bought it to try out GrapheneOS, and he hated this phone. No, he didn't hate GrapheneOS. He hated the Pixel 6 Pro. He likes the 4A 5G a lot, but he hates this. He hates this. Huh. And he asked if I wanted it. I'm like, really? I'm like, sure, why not? I think this phone sucks too, honestly. The back, so where's the camera sticks out, which is a negative. Having the fingerprint reader on the screen instead of having the fingerprint reader on the screen instead of having the fingerprint reader on the back of the phone is a major negative. So the reason for that is if the phone screen is off, I have no way while the phone screen is off being able to unlock the phone. So for instance on the S10e, even if the phone screen is locked, I can unlock the phone by just putting my finger on the fingerprint sensor. On the Pixel 4a 5G, even if the screen is off and the phone is locked, I can unlock the phone and turn the screen on with just one press on the fingerprint sensor with my finger. But on this phone, I have to hit the power button and then put my finger on the fingerprint sensor, which is more difficult to locate because it does not have a tactile feel to it because it's built to the screen. Which I imagine is some sort of bullshit cost-cutting measure. So you're paying more for the phone that has a cost-cutting measure that makes it a little less intuitive. The camera sticks out of the phone in a really weird way. The camera is not good enough to walk over the 4A 5G warrant that's sticking out of the phone. There are people on YouTube that have done reviews of the Pixel 4A 5G versus the 6 Pro camera. The 6 Pro camera is not really. The 6 Pro camera is not really better than the 4A 5G in my opinion. Not nice enough like Apple. Also, it doesn't have to be fast charging. But only fast chargers if you buy their bullshit proprietary charger. So like, my framework charges this phone because it's slow. So it's still, but my framework charger, which is meant for a laptop, still charges this phone slow. So I think my framework charger is 45 watts, and this phone is supposed to be able to support a 30-watt charge. But my 45-watt framework charger can't charge the phone at 30 watts. It's really stupid. Oh, what else is there? Oh, the back of the phone, the material they make it out of. So this phone uses some cheap shit material compared to the 4A 5G. So the 4A 5G is kind of like one of the old Moto G phones, where the material on it is really, really nice. It's a really nice material for... 1 second. Can anybody remind me where I left off before I had to switch apps? I completely forgot where I left off. Lagging and dragging its feet, how is that possible? I don't know. I have no clue what you're talking about. Phones don't have feet. They can't. What? Oh, the back. Okay. So you know how the Moto G, like the older Moto Gs, the back, it's a material that it doesn't have this feeling on it. Like you don't feel like the oil from your fingers, and you can't see fingerprints on it. But then when you get a phone like these phones that try to seem premium, they use this, I don't know what material they use for the back, but they use this really flat material with no etching or whatever on it, so that you see your fingerprints, you see your skin oil, and it's so disgusting. By the way, look at this horrible parking lot. Everybody scratches their car when they leave this. It's very, I don't know. I don't understand why they design it like that, but that's what the Pixel 6 Pro uses, and it sucks. So the back uses shittier material, so you're going to see your fingerprints. The phone is kind of unwieldy in your hand. The fingerprint reader is inconveniently located on the screen instead of on its own dedicated place, so you can't unlock the phone with one touch the way you could unlock the Pixel 4a 5G with a single touch. The Pixel 6 Pro is a massive downgrade from the Pixel's 4a 5G. The problem is that, the reason I have a Pixel 6 Pro is that it was free. It cost $0. And because it cost $0, it's an excellent deal. Now, would I buy this phone if it cost $10? Probably not. That's a little overpriced for this piece of shit. But at $0, it's just about worth it. So I got the phone with graphene, and I love it. I think it's great. And I think the operating system is great. I think the OS is great. I think the phone is shit. The phone, like the Pixel 6 Pro, is an abomination. Get out of here. I guess that's just bullshit. There's no other way to put it. It's just bullshit. It's absolute fucking. Do you look down on people that enjoy their iPhone and their Tesla? I know I don't. I don't really care what you enjoy. I don't care what you enjoy. What I do is I look down on people that abuse people that enjoy their products. So like for me, I don't look down on somebody who uses an Apple product to get their work done, that's happy with the Apple product. I look down on the people that take advantage of people who own Apple products and treat them like shit. Like my beef has always been with the company, not with the customer. I don't hate the customer. I have a disdain for the way the company treats its customers, but I do not have a disdain for the customer themselves. What do you guys think of the camera on this phone, though? Like, is it decent for live streaming? What do you think of this versus my S10e? But you have to admit, nice, the Model 3 is built like shit. Like, it has a good battery, it has a good drivetrain, and it has a good safety rating. Like, good safety rating, good battery, good drivetrain. But this car is made like dog shit. Like the rest of it. The internal construction of the car is just shit. Like, you can compare the interior of this to cars that are half the price. And the paint. Oh my god, the paint. It's like whiteout. Like, if you get the white Tesla Model 3, I don't even think that that's painted that they put on there. It's probably like whiteout. Maybe they mix chalk and water. It comes off so easy. It's ridiculous. Like, it takes nothing for the paint to scrape off of this car. Damn. The Sennheiser Lab is killing it. Awesome. Camera's good when signal isn't bad. Yeah, I'm thinking of trying out T-Mobile or switching back to... That was Verizon's take. Yeah, that was Verizon's opportunity to fuck me, because I said I was thinking of switching back to AT&T or going to T-Mobile. Well, yeah, I wouldn't expect the Model S to not have the issues the Model 3 does. The Model S, it has a bigger battery, it has faster motors, but at the end of the day, it's designed by the same company that made the Model 3. It's designed by people that make the same compromises, that have the same lack of attention to detail. That's not an issue that can be solved with money. That's an issue that's going to be solved with a different manufacturing process and a different sense, a level of values as a company. Like, I'm honest about why I own this car. I country road trips, but I am under no illusions that I have, like, you know, fucking top tier Mercedes or anything. I'm fully aware that I'm driving a piece of shit. Oh, and don't even get me started on the noise. A 1997 Toyota Corolla blocks out more road noise than this car. Go 80 miles an hour in a 97 Corolla, and then go 80 miles an hour on the highway in this. And tell me which one is noisier. The Tesla is noisier. Even though there's no engine noise, it makes up for it by having a complete lack of ability to block out road noise. But yeah, I don't give a fuck what other people use. That's the thing. I have no personal investment in you using, like, if you use I don't care if you use an Apple product and it works for you. I don't care if you use Yahoo Mail versus Proton Mail versus your own self-hosted. Like, none of that shit means a thing to me. I don't care. When I talk about Apple stuff, I'm usually talking about, I'm criticizing the company's policy toward its users and how they treat their users, but I'm not criticizing the user. And that's central, because you have people that will shit on the user of the product rather than shit on the company for poorly treating the user. And I think that that's the wrong way for them to go about it. That's not how you create any sort of positive change in the world, in my opinion. That's just how you make people mad for no reason. I think a lot of people misconstrue when I say when I am talking about things that the company has done wrong, they think that I'm talking about the user. And that's not correct. I understand why they get that impression, because you have all the 4chan kids that talk about, like, they'll use words like MacFag or iToddler and shit like that, and it's like that's just lame. That's using that kind of vocabulary. It's not really going to get anything. I keep the Model 3 for now because charging is still less than gas. Yeah, but you're spending like $20,000 more for the car. Yeah, like, again, when you're buying a Tesla Model 3, you're not getting a $46,000 car. You're getting a $26,000 car with a $20,000 battery and shit attached to it. Actually, you're getting it like what you're getting is a $26,000 car with like a $15,000 battery, and then a $5,000, and like you're putting a $5,000 investment into the charging network in it that they're going to use with it. You know, like, that's what you're paying for. You're not getting a $46,000 car. And by the way, they don't even sell the car that I got. When I got this car, it was $46,900. You got a $7,500 tax credit, and then there was sales tax. So like when you take all that into account, I got this car for like $45K or something. They don't even sell this shit anymore. They got rid of the tax credit, and when they were selling this, they were selling it for $58K. But you can't even buy it anymore. The Model 3 long range doesn't even exist. You can only buy the performance version, which is like $62,000 or $66,000. Fuck that. And you know, I don't give a fuck about going to like, my 0 to. I'm not paying an additional $10,000 so my 0 to 60 can be 0.8 seconds faster. Like, this car is already more power than somebody like me should ever have access to. So yeah, it makes no sense at this point in time to buy a Tesla. Absolutely not. Like, the tax credit being taken away plus the car. This car, again, it costs $12,000 more now than it does when I bought it. Like around 11 or 12,000 more. No tax credit. And that's aside from the quality control. Like, the 2022 one actually appears to have more quality issues than the one that I had when it comes to shit in the interior. So yeah, it really doesn't make any sense. I got this car right while it was considered like something, like, compared to now, it's a deal. And like the 350 miles of range, which is actually 300 when you deal with Elon lying and bullshitting you on the range, but like 300-mile range, mid 40,000s, not bad at all. But if you buy the $58,000 one, once you add sales tax and everything else in there, you're looking at like low 60,000s for a car that that's pretty much the same car as the car that I paid about $45K for. Not a deal at all. Nope. Why is Tesla as a company bad? Because they don't give a fuck about the user. Like, the moment you give them money, you're dead to them. Like, every single time I've had a warranty issue, and to be clear, I haven't had warranty issues with the actual, with the motor, with the battery, any of that. It's just been like stupid shit, like stupid shit inside the car, like, you know, rubber trim, rubber trim, like window, like noise and stuff like that. Anytime I've had an issue with any of that shit, they've tried to bill me. Like, even though they said it was under warranty, then you have to fight them to not have it be billed. You have to fight them because they try to bill you for shit that they shouldn't be fucking billing you for. What else is there? Like, the moment you get the car, you're not a human being to them the moment that you give them money. But like, there was one issue with the heater, and there's this flap. The way it was explained on a forum, apparently there's some flap that freezes open when it gets below 0 degrees. And there's a sensor there that's expecting to read a certain temperature. And if it reads a temperature that's too low, it thinks, oh shit, the heater isn't working, turn off the heat. If the flap is stuck open, then regardless of how warm the heat is in the car, that little sensor is going to think, oh crap, it's freezing, and it turns off the heat. So I booked an appointment to have that looked at. The earliest fucking appointment in my location was 7 weeks out. It's like, bro, winter's going to be over in 7 weeks. What the fuck? Now, luckily, there was a software update that got released the day after I did. Like, it was about 1 or 2 days after I did a video on this. A software update got released, and it fixed it. But like 6, 7 weeks? Really? Their website goes out of their way to make it as difficult as possible to actually get to a human in the contact us section. It does that sort of hostile design where they're constantly trying to funnel you and figure out exactly what you're contacting them for. And if there's only certain things in the contact us section that you can contact them for that will actually lead you to a form that allows you to type them an email. I had to lie and pretend I was interested in a solar installation to ask a question, and I was finally able to send them my question, and they never answered. But yeah, it's just stupid shit. You the car with like for instance, when I got this car, the inside of it was fucking dirty. Like really, you're gonna deliver a car that costs $45,000 or $46,000, and the inside of it is gonna be fucking dirty with like chips and shit? Like really, you cunt. I don't know. They just every single little thing about them, they just don't care about the customer. The moment they got your money, you are fucking dead to them. But I will give them credit. They did create a lot of cool shit. Again, like, the idea of having a useful, fast charging network throughout the country, who else did that? Who else did that? And don't tell me Electrify America or EVgo or any one of those other fuckers, because half of that shit doesn't even work. Those chargers, I'll give Tesla credit where credit is due. If you use any of those other charging networks, it's like trying to use a payphone in New York City in the mid 2010s. It's like they just don't work. They fundamentally do not work. They're horrible. But Tesla's charging network, that shit actually works. They do their job. They actually charge. Oh, don't even get me started on the guy with the Model S where he bought it. It stopped working the day he got it. It's been in the shop for 3 or 4 months. He paid $130,000 plus for this car, and they wouldn't even refund him the months of self-driving that he couldn't use. Rich Rebuilds did a video on that. So he's paying $400 a month for full self-driving. He can't use the car because it's in the shop. It's in the shop because it died the moment it was fucking delivered to him, and they wouldn't even give him a refund for that. He paid $135K for a car that he couldn't use for months. Like that, it's just stuff like that. Like, they're a shit company. There's no other way around that. There's no other way around that. That's just being a shit piece of shit company. Like, to have that level of contempt for your users is disgusting. There's no excuse for that. Maybe there's a small excuse for it if you're a company that, like, again, if you're selling a $9,000 car, fine, I get it. If you're selling a Kia or a Hyundai in the 90s, you don't have any money. There's no money available to support the customer because you're selling a car that probably cost you $8,999 to make for $9,000. There's no money there to support the customer. But when you actually have the money to support the customer, when you're worth $1 trillion as a company, when you're selling a vehicle for $130,000, don't treat the customer like a piece of shit. There are tests on Tesla interior noise and it's not as bad as you're saying. That's cope, bro. That's cope. That is cope, man. Why don't you sell your Tesla? Because there's nothing else that has a charging network that's good. I wanted to do cross-country road trips and I want an electric car. So if that's what you're looking for, there's really nobody else that matches Tesla's charging network at this point in time. And there's nobody else that matches them on range for the dollar. So at the time that I got this car, the amount of range that I could get for $45,000 after sales tax, again, after sales tax, it's like 45 or 47. I got to look it up and see. That they had the best ratio of range to money spent of any electric vehicle in the market. And that's not even, we're not even talking about the fact that they have the best charging network, bar none. I mean, it's not even comparable. It's like T-Mobile it's kind of like T-Mobile in 2005 versus AT&T or Verizon's coverage today. It's fundamentally not even remotely comparable. It's considerably good. But yeah, the thing about the noise testing, you're coping right now, bro. You're coping. Everybody notices it when they get in this car. And the moment that you get into a different car, I actually had to have it addressed twice by them. And even after they did it, it just brought it down to a point where it was tolerable. But the noise in this is very different. Like Steve has a 2016 used Mercedes E350. When you get in that car, you feel like you are in a you feel like you're in a padded room. Like the outside world just disappears. And when you're in this car, I mean, go 80 miles an hour, you feel like you're in a fucking roller coaster. Okay. But yeah, you're coping. If you hate it, sell it. Okay, so now we're just coping. I hear coping. Hello, parking spot. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm actually late. I wasted too much time earlier today doing something I shouldn't have been doing. One thing I gotta pick up. Let's see. Balancing. I would have put an F-150 Lightning, but dealers are adding load of mid 5-digit markups on top of the MSRP. That's just crazy. Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah. What color is your Model 3? Mine is white. Oh, here's the other thing with the Model 3. Let me show you some shit about the paint. Check this out over here. Watch this. Let me show you something funny. See this over here? Do you see the gray section over here? Do you see the gray section? So this literally came off from a house hose. So I was hosing the car down, and this is from a hose from the side of a house. This and this little mark over here. So there was some dirt there. So I sprayed it with a hose. This would never in a million years happen on Steve's E350. Like that's, the paint on this car is absolute shit. So in the manual, I was wondering, like, why do they make such a big deal over not using a touchless car wash? I've never seen this warning before. It's because the paint, it's white out. Like the paint that they use in that car is like white out. But I get it, you know, they need to skimp on all those types of things so that they could afford the battery, because the battery is insanely expensive. That's why I say, when you get a Tesla, you're not getting a $46,000 car, you're getting a $26,000 car. You're getting a $26,000 car that just so happens to have a $15,000 battery and a $5,000 subscription to a charging network. Like, if you set your expectations there, you're really not going to be too disappointed in what you actually get. But if you're expecting or now the Model 3 long range is like $58,000 or some shit like that. If you're expecting a $58,000 car, then you're going to be very disappointed. So with the Model 3 long range, I'd say you're getting a $25,000 car that, with a $15,000 battery, a $5,000 lifetime subscription to the network, and maybe a $12,000, Federal Reserve inflation tax. Like, if you set your expectations that way, then you'll be like, oh, okay, now that makes sense. Wait, you can think good and bad things about a product? Nuance, that's illegal. I think it's illegal with allegiance to companies, and it's even more so illegal in allegiance to politicians. Like, you have to either be all in or all out on politicians, companies, and products nowadays. I weigh the good, the bad. I think about what it is I want out of something. Like, I can still say, that car makes sense for what I was looking for at the time. But I'm not going to pretend everything about it is amazing. There's a bunch of things that make it a piece of shit. Like, for instance, when it comes to motor, drivetrain, anything else, nothing is broken in that part of the car. All the service that I've had done has been to shit like, the trim not being put together properly and stuff like that. But, I'm 34,000 miles into that thing. I've rode that around the country. It's not like I'm just riding that back and forth to work in a suburb. I've went through construction sites, snowstorms, blizzards, hailstorms, like all across the country over and over again. I beat the fuck out of that car. Not even worked the whole way. That's another one of the benefits of electric. It's like when's my next oil change? Or when do I need this gasket replaced? Or all this other bullshit? Never. Thank you. Like, our engine cooling components. There's something I pick up here. Shit, I forgot what I came here for now. Damn it. Here, one thing. I'm gonna read this real quick, and then I will go back to my clothes shopping to replace some things. Your brand is to be overly negative. No, your brand is to cope, bro. My brand isn't overly negative. My brand is to not suck the dick of the manufacturer because I cope. Your brand is to be a cope.
and mostly pretend that issues are not issues because you're a fanboy. And it's okay to be a fanboy. You just got to be honest about what you are. You're a fanboy that can't accept that there are issues with the products. And you're honestly a pathetic fanboy, actually. There. I would dare near call you a simp. Actually, I would call you a simp. I would call you a simp. Nice 2347 is quite the simp. Okay, what do we got here? I've had $3,000 computer lockup for no reason while I was doing basic stuff. If Tesla wants me to trust their basic tablet interface, not completely dumb and need it, they're dumb. Honestly, the autopilot side of the car does not have those issues. The media player side of the car has a lot of those issues. Like, it'll lock up just trying to get a FLAC file sometimes. But the self-driving part, it's run by something else. It's not run by the idiot part of the car. It runs pretty well. No, you don't love my channel. Now you're just being a troll. Bye-bye. Let's see. Yes, it's definitely negative to teach people how to fix their own shit for free. That's definitely negative. Get the fuck out of here. Next. Okay, let's see. The self-driving is totally optional. Yeah, it's not worth it. Autopilot's fine. Autopilot's good enough. It's like they don't know what clear coat and primer are. True. Very true. Let's see. Fleet. Tesla lacks competition. Very true. Yeah, every other company has no idea what they're doing with electric car manufacturing. Tesla reputation, we make fun EVs, not we make high quality cars. I would say that the motor and the battery are very high quality. I would dare say that even the safety features are high quality. What's not high quality is the interior trim and the customer service. The interior trim and the customer service is shit. But I would say the motor, the battery is high quality. I'll stand by that all day. And again, 34,000 miles, haven't had, like, the thing just keeps going and going and going. Okay, there was this. Let's see. I saw your video about content tests. Yeah, that was funny, Mohav. The worst they do. The battery's high quality because mostly they don't make it. Listen, whether they made it or whether they gave the specifications to somebody else to make it and trusted them to do the quality control and then got them to actually deliver a product that was to their liking, it's still quality. Quality is quality. Don't get any mom jeans. Maybe. How about on H&M? Those clothes fall apart the day you wear them. They have a lot of good shirts that are $5, man. Look at this. You can't beat that shit right there. The quality for $5, okay, $5.99 still. Inflation. Adaptive cruise control is cool, JP. Okay. I gotta get myself some pants before this place closes. Again, look at this. $6. I don't know. I'm a little bit of an H&M fanboy. Mostly because it's cheap as shit. See you later. Have a good day, everybody. Hope you enjoy yourselves. Hope you have a fun Friday night. I have some people to see at the end of the evening. I'm excited, happy, got some shit to do other than work for a change. And then tomorrow I'm gonna go back to unpacking my place because I still haven't finished unpacking my place. So hope you all have a lovely evening. See you later.